Hello. I went to Brimfield the other day, which is a huge antique fair type situation in central Massachusetts. It happens 3 times a year in the spring, summer, and fall. This was the fall 2019 edition. And I happened on a few big boxes of postcards that had not been looked through yet, fresh from, I guess, an estate of someone who apparently spent a lifetime receiving cool postcards. So I bought a ton of postcards and I was just about to sort them into loose categories before photographing them, before listing them, so that it would be easier to list chunks at a time from in different categories. And I thought it might be fun to do a bit of a postcard haul. There's a lot of these, so this might be long and boring. It's kind of an experiment, but here we go. I'll try to tell you why I bought each one, and maybe that will help you to look for things or just be interesting. This one, Easter, but the little chickens are in a dirigible, which seemed like an unusual and desirable thing. I love that the little bumpers on the blimp basket are eggs. That's cool. So that's going to go in the Easter pile. This one says Woodland Sanitarium, Woodland, California. So it's a hand-colored real picture postcard of California. I don't know where Woodland is actually, but I have a suspicion that sanitariums might be something people are interested in. Generally, sanitariums were places you went when you had tuberculosis or some other illness that required rest. They were in areas where the climate was considered beneficial for recuperation, like the mountains or lake or otherwise pleasant scenery. So I thought a sanitarium postcard could be desirable. This one is from 1909 postmark. So it's old. This I just bought because it has a Edwardian woman in, maybe not a suffragette, but that era, with lots of American flag stuff, patriotic going on, and it is 1907. This one, an angel for Christmas, highly desirable. It's really, it's embossed. It has pretty gold foil embossing on it, and it's, I think it's made in Germany. No other real information. Postmark 1906, but I think the pretty angel will sell it. Again, with this one, a Happy New Year, and this one has lots of glittery mica on it, and it has cupids with wings, which I think will sell it, and what I would consider kind of ominous swallows, I think, pouring in the window, but I'm sure they're a sign of good luck or something. This one is, it's not even a divided back, it's old. Again, another, this one also has lots of shiny mica on it, lots of cupids, and it's embossed. No. Yes, it is embossed, and it's got a silver ink background. It's in nice condition. It's Christmas. Let's put that in the Christmas pile. Here, another silverback. This one is actually from the 1904 World's Fair, which I'm not sure is as collectible as others, but I just thought it was kind of cool because of the silver ink and the early date. It's the Palace of Agriculture. It's unused. I don't know what category we're going to put this in. I don't have a lot of World's Fair. Here's yet another embossed, highly gold foiled. This is Happy New Year. Has some angels, little wings, which people like. So this one I just thought was kind of unusual. It is, well, I don't know. It might be an advertising card. I'm not sure. I'll have to see if it says anything else on it about that. but it has Parfum Violette de Parme, which I assume is a perfume brand. And I just thought it was unusual and kind of attractive in a weird way. It has spruce boughs and perfume. And dear cuz, I'm not sure the date. It's old. Put that in that miscellaneous sort of pile. This one, I'm going to have to do some research on. I assume it's actually old because everything else is, although it really does not look it, and it confuses me a bit. So I'm going to look into this. It's obviously for Moxie Soda. It has an Edwardian woman on it, but this stuff, that, I don't know, that doesn't look old to me. And it's not really, I mean, it's technically a postcard, but it doesn't have anything on the back except somebody's written some stuff in pencil. It's just kind of inexplicable. So I'm looking into that some more. This one, unusually, I bought just because I thought it was pretty aesthetically striking. It's embossed as gold foil. It's a birthday postcard, 1910. So I just thought this was pretty, honestly. This one is a real photo postcard of Prince, owned by M.E. Dixon. It's just a cute little terrier dude sitting on the porch there. And it's just somebody's photo postcard they made. I thought that was cool. Another dog. This one is a bulldog on a British flag. What more can you ask for? Let's see what this one was made for. It says something about an act of Parliament and the Department of Agriculture, so this might have been a World War I thing. It doesn't have anything on the other side, but I will look into that because it could be more interesting than it seems. This is a letter postcard that's like a thing, big initial letters. So it's mailed to someone named Minnie, I believe, and it's got this glittery mica and a montage of beautiful Edwardian women. And this is an undivided back, so it's early. And what pile are we going to put that in? The aesthetically pleasing pile. Here we have a little later. This is a shipyard in Wilmington, Delaware, Harlan and Hollingsworth. It's early, and I thought that could be, a place people know. This one, I don't know the real date on that, but it's sort of like bought it for the place and the shipyardness. This is a super cool postcard. I've never seen anything like this. So this says Lancaster, Mass. In the future, and it seems to be an altered photo of a town in Massachusetts with some futuristic stuff like a trolley and a small train going across a sort of sky bridge, and there's some weird bat thing and some weird blimp and air balloon things. They're just all totally out of scale, but I assume, I don't know. This little doghouse says Subway to New York, and this is from Massachusetts. So, I don't know. This is very cool. I don't know if it was a series or just some wacky thing somebody did. And I think it's a real photo. No, it's not. It's printed, but doesn't matter. It's still cool. And back's kind of messed up a little bit, but that's okay too. We're gonna put this in the places one. Here is a smelter in Grand Forks, British Columbia. These early frontier industrial things are sometimes of interest. This seems to be, it's like a tinted photo. It's not a real photo, but it's Got this wood frame, I think was a series. Oh, it's kind of cool. Here's Santa most jollily with the Christmas pudding and lots of gold. It's very pretty. I mean, you know, for Santa. We'll put him in the Christmas and New Year's pile. I think I'll have to sort these more later. Here we have a horse race in Pinehurst, North Carolina. It's in the 20s. It says hand colored. Is this a real photo? I don't, it doesn't look like it, but I'll have to look at that more carefully. It might be a photo, a real photo. It's definitely hand colored though. Here's 2nd Avenue in Fairbanks, Alaska. And I've been to Fairbanks and it kind of looks like that. So I don't know how much has changed. Maybe that's just my memory. I have a good friend from Fairbanks. This is, oh, it's actually 1948. So it wasn't that long ago. But still, nice shot of downtown. This one, I'm going to have to research some more too. This is a real photo and it's clearly some sort of logging camp or something. It actually says in pencil on the back, part of the town and mountains at Swanson's Bay. So we have to figure out where that is. But it's looks like probably some sort of logging camp to me. And people are interested in that sort of thing. Again, that sort of frontier industry. Adorable Dachshunds in a box. Can't go wrong with that. It's got a lot of embossing and gold. I think this is again a German postcard. We will put that holidays. Similarly, a naked Cupid for Valentine's Day with a bow and quiver and lots of hearts and silver and embossed. Very pretty. This is another sanitarium, this one in Attleboro, Mass, and for some reason, lots of people have parked on the lawn. It says Party of WCTU Delegates at the Attleboro Sanitarium. So I'll have to figure out what that stands for. But clearly from the cars, this is early and kind of interesting to find out what the story is. 1911, somebody's dated it. This is not a foreign postcard, but this is clearly a Japanese woman, maybe a geisha, I'm not sure. It says The Old Flower Man and hand colored. This is a real photo. And it's a 1908 postmark, undivided back. And the postmark is actually from Nevada, so it's kind of interesting. Find out more about that one. Where shall we put that? I don't know. My sorting isn't going as well as I had hoped. This is the Waltham Watch Factory in Massachusetts. It's an old watch company you may have heard of. It's still, I believe, going strong, and Waltham is known for this watch company. It's a little town not too far out of Boston. This is 1910. I think some of these buildings still exist in altered form as artist lofts. These old mill buildings. This one, again, I'm gonna want to research. It says Under Two Flags, White Pass Summit, Alaska. I want to find out what the White Pass, well, where the White Pass is and what's going on here. And here's a hotel restaurant somehow in the top of this pass. So be interesting to find out these people are dressed kind of, actually they're kind of earlier. They're actually kind of 1890s, if I can see the women's sleeves. Though who knows, this postcard isn't made in 1890s, so from the back. I'll have to find out what that was all about. Here we have Main Street in Rangeley, Maine, sorry. And again, this is a place I'm familiar with, and it doesn't look that different today. But Rangeley is a somewhat collectible postcard town. It's a place people go on vacation and have cabins, and it's in northwestern Maine near sort of nothing. So I thought I'd take a chance on this one. 1918 Kodak Shop, Rangeley, Maine. It's funny. So that's kind of cool. Here we have, this is the Clark Institution for the Deaf in Northampton, Massachusetts. And I think that would be collectible just on its own, anything from the Clark Institution. It's also old, and it's a kind of cool view. It's undivided back from 1908. So also interesting. Here we have one of these classic lady as butterfly cards, anthropomorphic insect, etc. And this is from a beach just outside of Boston that was a total Victorian and Edwardian pleasure palace kind of situation. Still is. People go to the beach there, but there used to be like amusement park stuff. And we have bathhouses and bandstands and so forth. It's also an undivided back. Here we have a patriotic one, lest we forget. This is for World War I. This is embossed, has these American flags. And this is sent in 1912. Okay, maybe it's before World War I in the U.S. Interesting. Well, lest we forget nonetheless. So maybe that's referring to the Civil War, and maybe this boy's suit is indicative of that. Interesting. Yeah. I'll put that in the patriotic pile there. This one's great. This is an Easter card, but a little chicken. It has a rabbit in the henhouse, as it were, and he's very embossed, and he has excellent velveteen breeches on with gold spots and nice vest. He's very well dressed. So anthropomorphic bunny, embossed, Easter. I just think this is very attractive. But I'm a sucker for bunnies and chickens. Again, looks German, and it's going in the holiday pile. This one, again, an angel with wings, a little bit pre-Raphaelite influence there, and this very 1880s typography, though it's a little, it's a postcard, so that's not what it's from, but that's the look. And it's got gold, and it's got some embossing. It's Christmas. This one, this is a Boy Scout postcard. I don't think I've seen something like this before. And it says first aid up in the corner, and we have some boys bandaging a fallen comrade in the woods there. The Be Prepared logo. I think this was sent from Canada. Yeah, Quebec postmark. So I wonder if they're boy guides, not Boy Scouts. Is that even... I know there's Girl Guides, but anyway, I'm not sure they even call them boy guides in Canada. It might be Boy Scouts there too. And I thought that seemed like something somebody would be interested in. This is a great Christmas postcard, again embossed. It's got silver, nice holly, and it has a blue coat Santa, and he has a tree with candles on it, and a strange gnome. I guess that's a toy, but this is in great condition, very collectible, and it's It's an undivided back. This one is kind of unusual. This is World War I era, and it says, 2 girls engage in a boxing contest over a soldier in front of headquarters and are separated by the colonel's orderly. So, that's the story here. These 2 pugilistic Edwardian ladies. And I assume this is World War I era, based on the ladies. Put that in the patriotic pile. Patriotic. Here's a sawmill in Crow's Nest, British Columbia. There were a lot of really cool Canadian cards, and I tried to only pick up ones that I thought would have the most appeal. And this one is a pretty interesting, again, industrial frontier scene with logging. Here we're back in Alaska at the Yukon dog team, so some great sled dogs. Interestingly, they're kind of a mixed bunch, not just, the Huskies and Malamutes you might expect. It says Yukon Dog Team Alaska. And this is a real photo postcard on some nice matte paper. Quite the image there. That's snow. And no more information on the back, but that one seems pretty unusual. This one says, again from the Yukon, Indians selling curios at Yakital, Yukon. So I guess that's, Canadian Yukon. And these would be native Canadians. Thought that was kind of an interesting scene. Here we have, just jumping around totally. This is a New Year's card, a lot of silver ink, and not one that I don't have much to say about. This one, apparently there was a series of lovers and light bulbs and these Edison bulbs, which is pretty cool. It says, score a victory for the lover when the lady's willing to talk it over. Like, that doesn't rhyme, but, it says love lights. That was the series. And, they're in a light bulb because they were kind of new. And the date, it's postmarked 1910. It's fun. I'll put that in that pile. This is, it says, an Indian funeral, Port Simpson, BC, November 18th, 1910. And then the photographer out of Prince Rupert. This is, I think, a little weird. I don't know why they're having an Indian funeral on this pier, but, so be it. It's kind of cool. Snap of history. Maybe try to find out some more about that, but, it's a good image of the port town as well. Again, Canada, obviously. And this is a real photo postcard. And then something totally different. We have the U.S. battleship Nebraska, built by Moran Brothers in Seattle, Washington. Keel laid July 4th, 1902, accepted by the U.S. government July 18th, 1906. So it's a very early battleship, destroyer thingy. I don't know my naval ships, I'm sorry. But this is, again, a real photo. It's really nice paper, actually. It's very matte. And so that's a Navy ship. People like that. This one is One Day's Hunt near Cle Elum, Washington. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. And it's a hand-colored real photo. Actually, no, it's a hand-colored print, I think, actually. I apologize. I thought it was kind of a striking image with all the negative space left for the snow. People hunting images, not my cup of tea. Wouldn't purposely want to look at dead deer or fox, or whatever these guys are. That one looks like a fox. But it is something that's collectible. And that one, you know, it's quite old, and it's West Coast, early West Coast. Here we have an anthropomorphic cat fellow. He seems to be a chimney sweep, I think. I think that's his chimney brush and his ladder and tools of the trade, and he's all wearing his black chimney sweep clothes. And chimney sweeps, as we learned in Mary Poppins, are good luck, I believe. So anyway, this is actually a Christmas card, and it's desirable because it's an anthropomorphic cat. It's also embossed, and it's from the UK. Here we have a Thanksgiving card, which I picked up because of this Native American woman image. I thought that was something people would like. I like this sort of deco border as well. This is actually a John Winch card as well, 1914 John Winch. So he's collectible in and of himself. This is more Cupids, and their little naked wings and valentines and so forth. Also embossed, also in very nice condition. That's what we'll say about that. This one I thought was kind of unusual. I haven't researched it at all, and it's a little bit grubby, but this is a Shriner's image with the dude with the fez and the scythe, or whatever you call that in Shriner world. But usually, you know, Edwardian couples sitting in the crescent moon are popular, and I thought the Shriner part would add to it. I'll have to do a little research on that, and it's postmarked 1912, so I guess this isn't really a holiday, it's just Shrinerness. But here we have a real photo postcard of a large group. Not necessarily something I'd pick up, except it's identified in pencil on the back. The troop at Whalum Park, summer of 07. X is Mabel Adam. So where's X? There's Mabel Adam. I just picked that up because Whalum Park is a former, possibly current, amusement park and place people go to recreate in Massachusetts. And I thought this was an interesting early image from there. I kind of wonder if the troupe was just friends, and if so, who has that many friends? Or if it was actually some sort of troupe. We got some great hairstyles in here. Nice white women's summer clothes. It's a good image. This woman wearing a tie. Like it. This I picked up because it's totally weird. So this says Peaks Island, Maine roller skating rink. Is that what you would have thought this was? No. But apparently that's the roller skating rink. So here we go. And I don't know, what year is this? I didn't even know roller skating was happening that early. I'll look into that. Here's another naval thing. We got the USS Oregon in dock at Bremerton. So this is a ship in dry dock. This is another real photo postcard. Kind of striking image. These early ships are crazy, but I can look up exactly when this ship was, you know, built and in service and find out a little more about it. This is a striking sort of image. This is actually a Valentine, not a religious image, but it does look quite a bit like the Burning Heart of Jesus. She's feeding the fire of her love there. It's embossed. It's pretty, Oh, it's an interesting illustration. Looks to be German printing. This is a cute wiener dog. Isn't that kind of a striking image for the era? It seems like the cropping is very photograph inspired. But this is a Tux, I think it's one of these oilette postcards they did that sort of simulate painting, in style. So I thought some wiener dog enthusiast would be quite happy to have this guy. I'm sorry, Dachshund. Another angel with a prayer book. This is an Easter card. This one's great, a Valentine, but this Cupid is flying in a biplane that is very suspect. It doesn't look like it's gonna hold up, but luckily he or she has wings. Yeah, early airplane image. Here we have another, I don't know if this is a Valentine, this is a general love postcard, maybe Valentine's, and it's sort of a clown harlequin figure. I don't know, I dislike clowns, but this one didn't scare me too much. Some great kitties and a chicken, and I love this egg. It's got embossed gold stars, gold foil stars on it, and for some reason it's just really attractive. Something about the blue and gold. It's an Easter card, undivided back. Here we have more Cupids. I'm not a Cupid person personally, but I know people like to buy them. This is a New Year's card for 1907. The date made out of flowers is embossed. Here we have Abraham Lincoln. I don't know much about this card. I don't know if it's, it might be really common, I'm not sure, but I took a chance on it. Lincoln's birthplace. It's 1911. So, it's early. Oh, we should put that in the patriotic pile. This one is New Year's. Has a really good Father Time up there in the corner. And, not the best of the lot, but pretty nice. It's a Tux. This woman, I think that's a Princeton pennant. I have to look it up. Weirdly, there's this restaurant near Harvard that when the people took it over, they took down the years and years of walls that had accumulated, all the wallboard and stuff, and found the original surface, which was tile and had all these embedded college pennant logos in the tile work. And for some reason this makes me think I know that that's Princeton, but it could be anything. But I'll look it up. It's nonetheless a cool image of an early, probably a college woman. This is printed by Edward Gross, and the artist's name is signed Pearl Eugenie Fiedler, 1909. So I'm gonna find out some more about this. I thought it was a very cool image. I'm gonna put that, I don't know. Here we have kind of a classic. Teddy bears on the beach on their leads with this crazy looking girl. She's embossed. It's not Tux, it's International Art Publishing, but similar idea. And finally, this one is another named group. Nashaway Valley Collectors Club, Clinton, Mass. Annual outing, Lake Washicum, July 12, 1931. I don't know what they're collecting, but they're collectors, and I don't actually know where this lake is. probably Clinton, Mass. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting and that it was very well identified. That's a real photo. See if anyone has interest in that. And now is my other pile. You thought you were done, but no. These are the postcards that are not going through the scanner, and these are really interesting, so stay tuned. So here we have one. This is like embroidered, looks like silk, could be anything, but it's from, woven in silk. This is from the RMS Saxonia. It's like a British American peace image in fabric on this card. I thought that was cool. It has the, the cruise ship aspect and the novelty postcard aspect. This is pretty spectacular. This peacock image with lots of real peacock feathers, even in here. Check that out. It's crazy. This is a, it doesn't really say much except postcard. That's in really nice condition. I think it's also, this part is all hand painted as well. Looks to be like it was printed and hand painted. Again, this is crazy. Look at this metal wishbone on here. It's a Thanksgiving card. It's got some embossing in gold and turkeys, and then it has this crazy wishbone. And you could still mail it for 1 penny, I guess. Here's another, this is another fabric and paper one. This is the Art Needlework series, and it says that this silk here can be worked into artistic cushions, table centers, duchess covers, tea cozies, pin cushions, etc., etc. And to detach satin square cut along dotted line. It's the patent fab patchwork card. Fab card. And so we have a Scottish clan, and it's kind of like a tobacco silk, except it's a thing on a postcard. Actually, I have another one of these in the pile too that's different. So that's pretty cool. Then I have 3 wooden postcards. They're like balsa wood or something. This one's from Portland, Oregon, on the trail. This is, like a stock message, I believe, and then you can mail it for 1 cent. This side exclusively for the address. So this is like an undivided back era, I think. And I actually got 3 different ones that are wood. I don't even know what this means. Would you cherish another punny message from this tall timberland with its poplar exposition, having bushels of fun. I occasionally pine, fir, alder. It's like all tree puns. I'm not saying it. My delivery sucks, but it's all tree puns basically. 1905. Lewis and Clark. And yeah, it's wood. There's Sacagawea. Here's another one from Portland, 1905. It's more tree puns. Ash, astonishing. Oh, it's Sacagawea again. Okay, that's enough wood. This is a insanely blocked card. This is pink fuzzy stuff. We got violets, and they're 3D, and they're fuzzy, and they're velvet, and then we get some embossing, and this is just over the top. And no date. I don't know, but early, cool. More flocking. This one, actually, this is not no, it is a postcard. I need to glue this a little. It needs to be glued, but this is celluloid, I believe, and this goes like this, celluloid, and eye and flocking in 3D and little thingies. This very Art Nouveau image, Japanese influence. Very cool. This one again, we got some superior flocking. This is a Christmas card with the roses and the fruit. This is cool. Sorry, I keep saying that, but this is a card that makes chicken sounds. Like, come on, that's awesome. This is an Easter card. It makes chicken sounds. And finally, this is a postcard, mailed for 1 cent, that comes in a box. And I did repair this box a little with some archival glue because it was a little crushed. And then this is a postcard. Look at that. It's like, it's got a huge chicken and egg scene. It's like totally 3D. That is some, oh, and this is, the flowers are embossed, sticking up, and this one's kind of fabric. So that one, I have not seen one like that for sale before. So there's the box. So that's the postcards. I also got a few greeting cards, which are gonna be sort of what's the word? Word loss, sorry. Not as exciting as the word I'm looking for, sort of. Anyway, I'll just show you these quickly. We got some cats in stockings. This is too small to be a postcard. We got some Scotty dogs. Scotty dogs. Scotty dogs. Scotty dogs. That might be a lot. I don't know. Maybe individual. There. I have a celluloid greeting card. Which is, this is an anniversary card from Uncle Wallace. Oh no, it's a Yuletide greeting, but it's this embossed celluloid. Excuse me. I don't usually talk this much. Another celluloid type card with embossing and colors and layers, and this is a Christmas one. Pardon. This is just a die cut Christmas card. Another celluloid one, greetings, with gold embossing. Is this unused? Could be. And oh, here's the other fab card with the tartan thing you can cut off and use in your tea cozy. So we'll put that with the other one. And then finally, amongst all this stuff, there was this little packet of telegrams from World War I, which are pretty interesting. It's somebody's leave papers, I believe, but the whole thing was contingent on them passing a no venereal disease inspection, and then they get to take leave to go to Nice in France in 1919. So it has the soldier's information. He was a private first class, and then this is his information in English and French, and his travel pass saying that he doesn't have any STDs, so he can take the weekend off or whatever. And it says something really interesting, like, we find him free from evidence of venereal disease and that he has full knowledge of the prophylactic regulations. So that's what it takes to get some time off during World War I. So that was a cool little bonus in there. And that is my postcard haul from Brimfield. And if you want to know, I paid $125 for all of that stuff, plus a book and a couple other little pamphlets. So that's, and there's, I think, 80 postcards and like 10 greeting cards or something. So it's like a little bit under $1.50 a card, which might be expensive for, I mean, not even, you know, stuff like this I like to get for less than that, but stuff like this one and that crazy peacock and stuff, and this one, you know, I think $1.50 is a pretty sweet deal. So I think it averages out to be quite nice, and you know, I can, though it will take some time, I can make a good profit on pretty much every single one of these cards. So that's cool. And I'm gonna go refine my sort and get to listing and photographing and all that. Okay, thanks. Hope it wasn't too boring and that it was interesting in some useful way. Cheers.